Hey folks, this is another phase in my attempt to landscape my front yard. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I'm taking advantage of this beautiful sunny day in December. Yes, this is December 10th, and I'm going to do some landscaping. I got a hold of a few more funds, so I was able to go down and buy 100 brick. I'm going to border my landscaping here with brick, and then I've got some pavers. I didn't get them all. I have to wait for some more money to go get the rest of the pavers to build my sidewalk. But I did get my 10 bags of cement, and then I'll show you what I'm going to be doing with cement, with the pavers, and with the blocks. I've got this vapor barrier that I resourced from an estate cleanup, so I laid that out to hold back the weeds. I've also got my plants that I wanted to put out in the buckets that we got from the Dollar Tree. Right now I've got some fake poinsettias in there just to add a little bit of color and festivities to the front of the house, but in those I'm planting mint. I understand mint is a rodent repellent and the deer don't care for it either, and primarily I have to plant what deer don't eat out here. I'm also planting some Russian sage. I'll be planting one Russian sage between each pot, about halfway. And then on each side of the Russian sage, I'll be planting some gifts that I received for, from a fifth grade class I was a guest teacher at. Hello, I'm going back to grade school. Stay tuned and I'll tell you more about this. I was teaching them about heritage breed animals, and they gifted me with a tray of these plants that they started from seed, and this is lavender. My bees are gonna love lavender. And then over here I have this rock rose, which is deer resistant. I'll plant it right about there in front of the window, and then basically nothing else, no other vegetation will go in there. Keep the vegetation down around the house and keeps the bugs away too. So I'm out here to get some exercise and get rid of some more of this winter fluff and go ahead and lay these bricks out, and I'm using this board as a guide so I make it nice straight edges. And there's another feature I'm going to add to those, so let's get the bricks laid out. Okay, in case you're wondering, the house measures 48 feet long at the base. So I came 8 feet out and put the border down because my deck that I'm going to be building is going to come 6 feet out and it's going to be 12 feet long, 12 by 6. And we're going to have a 2-foot bed all the way down the front of the house with well, in front of the deck will be 2 feet. The rest of it will be 3 feet because now I'm going to set the pavers in and center them on my deck that I'm going to be building. Still got to buy the materials for that. That's a future project. That's in another phase. But this is 100 bricks exactly to come 8 feet out and then 48 feet down. And it's at 51 cents per brick. But I got it for about 46 cents per brick because I used my veterans discount through Lowe's. Go Lowe's. This board I'm using, it's a 12-footer deck board. It's that alternative wood material for decking that I purchased when I went and built my flatbed trailer. I thought this is more durable and I don't need to paint it or preserve it for a service for a flatbed trailer, so I thought that was more appropriate for that use too. But this is the same material and the same length I'm going to be using to build my deck with. But this board I'm using, I'm going to line up my my pavers. We're going to have 2 rows of pavers going down, but I only have 8 right now. I still got to go down and get more as money allows. And I'm going to center them at 3 feet out because 3 feet out from the foundation of the house is the center of the deck. Okay, you guys may be wondering why I'm doing cement like this on top of this weed barrier, because the weed barrier doesn't go all the way up to the foundation of the house, and there's manifold reasons why I'm particularly doing this. I'm just opening these 80-pound bags and pouring them dry along the foundation, and then I'll just go ahead and wet it down with the garden hose, and that will set. Because it gives that the stone, because I'm going to be backfilling, laying in over the top of all this black weed barrier pea gravel. So it's going to create a nice flame resistant barrier if we should ever have a wildfire get close to the house. At least I have an 8-foot perimeter around my house to keep flames away from the house. Now, another reason for the cement, weeds have the weeds here. They like to grow right up next to the foundation, and this hopefully will seal it off and keep the weeds from growing, because I don't like weeding. I'm just coming out maybe about 9 inches with cement, because that's a barrier where I don't want any vegetation up next to the house. The vegetation will actually be planted probably a foot from the house, because this is a little 2-foot barrier, a little bit more than a little under 2-foot barrier. So I'll just pick the center line and plant some flowers or whatever. I haven't decided what I'm going to plant in there yet. Another reason is it'll keep rodents from burrowing under the foundation out here, because they'll get in there, they'll get into that pea gravel, and they can't get any farther than the set cement. Plus the cement anchors the weed barrier down, and it's a win-win. I mean, I couldn't have thought of anything better to use the cement for than just go along the foundation of the house. Now there's another job I'm going to use the rest of the cement for, and that's to level out all these bricks. As you can see, the brick brick path is kind of wavy. Well, I'm going to even that out. I'm pouring cement down, and then I'll use a level, and then I'll make it level all the way across, or a nice even level all the way across the front of the yard where it's more even. So the gravel cement will fill in the low spots. But once I backfilled it with pea gravel, you can't see it, because the pea gravel will come up to the top surface of, or just below the top surface of the brick. And then I'll backfill it along the front of the yard, some soil, plant some grasses, and then I'll create a nice little barrier, a shallower barrier, so if there's any cement coming out front, no problem. It's just an area I don't have to weed. Also, I'm going to use the boards and create a level guide on which to pour a thin layer of cement under those paver stones for the pathway, so they'll be side by side, and they'll be anchored in the cement so they won't shift. Except for one will not be anchored, as I have the sewer clean out under there, and I need to access that just by lifting the paver, but I'll have the paver balanced so it won't rock when we walk over it. But then you don't notice that there's a sewer clean out there. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this episode. I'm going to work with cement on another day. I'm kind of tired right now. So we got the brick in, 100 brick. I've got 8 pavers. I've got about another 8 and 20. I have 28 more pavers to purchase to complete the project, and we'll do that in the next episode, and we'll finish the gravel up in the next episode. And then the final episode, I'll go ahead and bring in the rock, and then set my plants in, because we'll just cut a little cross section with a box knife in each tarp. We'll dig our hole, and we'll plant each plant, because I have like I said, the lavender and the sage that's going to be planted in the ground. And then these pots are going to be probably going into the greenhouse, and I'll start my seeds of mint in the greenhouse and then bring them out later. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm in the front yard landscape episode in a series. It's a series. Let's call this episode number 3 in the series. The first one, I started filling it in with the tractor. The second one, we planted the grass. And this is the third one. And then we'll conclude it with 1 or 2 more episodes, so stay tuned. You can do that by subscribing, then clicking that bell icon that alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Give us a thumbs up, like the show, and click that share button. Sharing my videos on your social media platforms helps the channel out a lot. Be safe, always be kind. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye. God, it's a nice day.